882 6PR. This is Paul Murray.
I'm joined in the studio by roving reporter Lisa Barnes. Lisa, good morning.
Good morning, Paul.
What are you doing?
I am planking. Now, for our listeners, it's basically I'm laying straight down, face down, arms by my side with my legs held steady. I'm not supposed to be talking. I normally have no facial expression at all, but this is what's known as planking. Now, normally somebody would take a photo of me and post it on an internet site, and that's how it goes a bit viral.
And someone's doing that at the moment. Paul Entwistle, who runs our website, is taking a photograph of you, and you're up on webcam, I think, as well, on the 6PR website. So this could be a world first planking interview.
It could definitely be, and I'm always up for breaking records, so here I am. But the reason we're talking about it, it's got a little bit of notoriety in the last couple of weeks. We know that last week a man was charged in Queensland with trespassing on police property after he planked across the back of a police car. And obviously over the weekend we heard about the tragic death of a 20-year-old man who tried to plank a balcony, and that was 7 stories up in Brisbane, and he lost his footing and fell to his death. But what we're doing this morning is I've got an interview lined up with his name's Matt Fernandez, and according to Facebook, he calls himself the CEO of this craze. There are so many Facebook pages about planking dedicated to people putting up their pictures. In fact, there's one, Planking Australia, which has almost 90,000 likes and plenty of people posting their pictures. So I'll introduce you to Matt Fernandez. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I understand that you say that you are the CEO of this craze. Can you tell us how it started?
Well, I was working as a DJ in about mid-2004, and I was travelling interstate a lot, doing gigs and so forth. And what happened was I was travelling with a lot of dancers, and these dancers would like to pose in front of, the Opera House or, the Harbour Bridge. And considering that I wasn't a dancer and I was a DJ for these guys, I couldn't get down and do freezes on my head and all that kind of stuff. So then they were like, come on, jump in the photo, and I would be like, oh, what can I do? So the first thing I did was lay straight on my face.
And that's all it took to start this craze?
That's all it did, and everybody was like, wow, that's hilarious, da-da-da-da. And then I ended up going on a bit of a rampage, till 2005, and it just went crazy. All my friends started doing it, we all started laughing, and yeah, it's pretty crazy considering I did that back then. Now it's 2011, and it's gone absolutely mental.
Now, Matt, a good plank obviously depends on where you do it, does it?
Yes, it does. It's your nose directly to the ground, and it's straight across, like a plank, as they call it.
Yeah, but what about the location? I saw a wonderful one on one of the websites this morning, which was a young woman who was doing it amid a whole lot of milk cartons in a supermarket. So just in the sort of space between the milk cartons, it was very amusing. Yeah, well,
people are getting more creative now because of the internet, of course. They're trying to do, the next big thing. But when I was doing it, I was just doing it. It was more shock value. The first evidence that I did, as in photos, was more towards the end of 2004. So mid-2004 to the end of 2004, I was just doing it with no photos, and it was more shock value. So I would walk in a restaurant, and then all of a sudden I'd just drop. And everybody would be like,
and
whoa. And
plank on the spot in the middle of the restaurant.
In the middle of the restaurant. And that was the laugh, with all the other guys. So, and then now I started putting photos online years and years ago, and I guess, it's just absolutely gone ballistic now.
Matt, do you think it's become a little bit dangerous, though, as people try to outdo each other?
Of course. I think, like anything, things evolve. So I originally named it The Face, and that's what it was called for a very long time. But obviously it's gone around, and people have given it their own names and given it their own style and doing double planks and all this other stuff and doing it off buildings and all this other crazy stuff. But it's just, it's very hard to explain, but I just hope that everyone else out there understands that it wasn't always about, the next big thing. It was more of a shock value thing.
How do you feel about that young bloke who lost his life planking on the weekend?
Well, that's terrible. I feel sorry for the friends and family, or even the people that were there. No one deserves to die in a way like that, but, there's people out there who do this safely, and there's people who aren't. But I've got a lot of emails and stuff and Facebook messages saying that, oh, you're the idiot responsible for this, when I was like, but that's really stupid, because how can you blame me for something, that person did. It's like the person who invented the bicycle and blaming him for every accident or every idiot who's gone out and, you know, fallen off a bicycle or whatever. So it's hard. There's not much I can say because I don't want to defend anybody or, you know, stir trouble. But I just hope people out there do it safely and know why it was done in the first place. It was more shock value, not more of an internet viral who can stack each other and who can be better than anyone else.
So you don't want people to stop planking, just do it safely?
Just do it safely. It's the comedy. It's all about the comedy. And if it's funny and it makes people laugh, that's all that matters, you know. But do it safely and there won't be a problem, you know. People do it on police cars and stuff, okay, that's pretty crazy, like, but, you know, they got caught, they got, you know, done. So.
Well, Matt, Lisa has planked during this entire interview.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, you know what? I'd like to get a photo of that. If you could put that on my Facebook page, that'd be hilarious.
We'll send you a picture of you being interviewed by a planker. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good on you, Matt. Good to talk to you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks for your time.
Okay, Matt Fernandez, the planking pioneer, and Lisa Barnes, you may be a pioneer yourself. You may be the first planking interviewer.
I tell you, this is not as comfortable as it might look.
Now, you know, there was a journos fad that grew up in Western Australia in the 60s called the Limp 4 Club, started by Paul Rigby, the great cartoonist, whereas these guys used to be in a bar, sitting on the chair, and then just out of nowhere, they would fall off the back of the chair on the ground. Now, that was probably as dangerous as planking, I would imagine.
Yes, probably. And
nearly as stupid. Yeah.
Nearly as stupid. Well, trust me to always do something stupid, Paul.
Good on you, Bardsey. Thanks for that. It's 19 to 12.
The 6PR morning program for Super